Captain's Log Supplemental.
Hey Jeremy, you know those race cars you're busy building?
Yeah, I do. I
You,
got one
you,
that I'm looking at every day.
you know what I don't see you working on?
You don't see me working on the amazing Sentinel system yet.
That's true. It would take all of 10 minutes for you to have one.
And it's very quick and easy to install.
It is. It is. And we could watch you when we are not at the race with you and see how you're doing. And then we can call you up when you get out of the car and tell you everything you did wrong.
And I love that because so many years I've been driving and not been able to see what I'm doing.
I know.
And now we can.
I know. You know what I'd like to do with the video? My most favorite thing is I take the video and I load it on YouTube and then I send it to my coach and say, look at 26 minutes and 17 seconds. Look at this one lap and tell me what I can do better. And every single time, you know what they say?
Everything.
Exactly. Precisely. So with the Sentinel system, you get instantaneous feedback plus useful feedback that unfortunately is accurate for my driving.
I think it's accurate for all of our driving.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's probably true. Yep. But you need to get one in your car, sir.
Yes, I do. And with the discount code that you're going to tell everybody, they can save 10% on this awesome system.
Yep. Trouble free. I haven't had an issue getting video every time we've gone out with the Sentinel. It's always worked. Can't say the same for some of the other systems we've tried. So I don't know. It's on the podcast notes down there. Don't do it while you're driving, though. We like to have our listeners live. It's good.
Who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe, comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher. And their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher. And our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Scripchuk. Their mission, to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Welcome to the Garage Heroes in Training Podcast. I'm going to be one of the hosts for this episode. My name is Bill. Who else is hosting?
I'm Vicki.
We got a flashback.
What? And I'm Alan. Hello.
Screaming live from the hotel that Vicky apparently doesn't care that there's people next to us, but whatever.
Fine.
I don't.
Talk into the microphone.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, very well.
Yes.
After some short technical difficulties with the Zoom, thinking that my microphone is also a speaker, that doesn't work that way. We're back. Alan, where you been?
Well, we did a little travel action. We did a quick weekend jaunt out to, I guess we did Portland, Oregon. Yeah, and Washington. Well, no. Portland is in Oregon. Yeah, it's fine. And Washington State. We did a little lucky dog dance out on the West Coast with our friends Def PIR Racing, Def Jeff and Def Stig, who apparently are also Def Chefs. Say that 6 times fast. I'm just
Nice.
saying. Heck yeah. Super
It
good
looks
stuff.
like some pretty spectacular food. Not that I'll be posting that with this podcast comes out, but I was feeling a little jelly.
It was, and so this Korean barbecue, just to start off on the jealousy, was an all-you-can-eat.
Ooh.
So we sat down with the 5 of us, and it was like you ordered 4 meats and like something else, and there was a bunch of other things, and then like, hey, those look good. You want another round of meats? And you order like there's 4 more meats, and then another round of something else, and they would just keep coming.
I'd like to lodge a formal protest.
It was ridiculous.
Where was
So
that when your
I
son
know,
decided
right? Yeah, he
to
wanted to
skip the rice, skip the lettuce, and just eat straight meat?
straight beef. Yeah, it's how he rolls.
You do realize the reason we didn't go back the next day because they were out of
We're out.
food.
No more lettuce.
Sorry.
So good.
How's our friends out there on the West Coast?
They're doing good. It was neat to just do a little travel day. The airline definitely didn't really think I should have a smooth travel operations. So my Thursday flight was delayed and then canceled, and then rescheduled as a Friday flight. So I did try to push a little earlier for my departure time, and then my arrival time was also an hour earlier. But that was on Friday, which means I totally missed practice. There wasn't too much they needed to do to the car. It was pretty well set to go. So that wasn't that big a deal. Got out there, weather was nice, no big deal. Jeff picked me up from the airport. It's like a half hour from his house, which is also like a half hour from the track. So super close little situational operation going on there. Yes, so we did loaded my safety gear in my carry-on bag, and then I carried my helmet as a pillow in a really big pillowcase. So in case anybody had any
rather
questions,
hard
they
pillow.
get the pillowcase. You know what I'm saying? So,
Any weird looks?
not too bad. The first flight I was polite and I asked when I was in Connecticut, and they said, "Oh, just find a friend to give the helmet to bring it on the flight." And I'm like, "You just what? All right." So I'm already through security. Down next to a nice guy, eyeballing, see how much stuff he has. Oh, it's only has one bag. All right. Just asked me 3 times if I'm traveling with anybody. I'm like, no, I'm traveling alone. What are you talking about? Just need to find a friend. I'm like, yeah, tell me about it. Anyway, so
We all need friends.
When I go looking for friends, I go to airports because everybody there is so friendly and wanting to talk.
So here I am with my white and pink kitty cat pillowcase. I took the really long one, so you can tie
Kitty cat, the kitty cat pillowcase.
The white and pink kitty cat pillowcase, absolutely. So I take the helmet out. I'm like, hey, sir, I really got to ask a private favor. They won't let me carry 3 things on. If you could just carry this helmet for me, and then I'll take it and whatever. And he did. Carried it out right out of the first class, and they took it back to me. I stuffed it in overhead and went on with it. After that, I just pretended like it wasn't there. I just kind of hid it behind me like I didn't have it, and would just like just act like it wasn't even there. It was a mental thing, and then bloop, and then just walked right in and didn't, like they kind of half looked at me, but they didn't really, whatever, didn't care. And then the flight back was the only issue was the layover was delayed. So we sat for like 3-4 hours in Charlotte until we got another plane, good AC, and out the door we go. Meanwhile, I figured I'd be smart and sit in one of the gates that was loading. Great, okay, go to 6. They're loading right now. They're going to have the plane loaded. Oh, hey, we got a flat tire. We have to deplane. I got comfortable. I had a nice spot out. There's people around me. All right, whatever. All right, so let's see. We get out to the West Coast, and
wait.
What happened? Oh, sorry, airport stuff. Yeah.
Lucky dog, right?
Lucky dog racing, yes.
And it was just the 3 of you driving?
4 of us driving. So, gentleman, Mike L, totally not good with names, raced with us. Super fast driver, meticulous.
It's
nice
pronounced
guy.
Michael, right? It's not Mike L.
No. I think it's Michael L.
I thought you just got tired in the middle and nodded off.
It does happen, though. I run out of vowels sometimes. It's fine. We don't worry about it. So it was the 4 of us racing. Jeff, Stig, Mike, and myself in their NA Miata with an NB motor.
I have found out the pedigree of said race car. It's from the Brothers Korf, which are with us right now.
Oh, no way. That's awesome. Heck yeah.
They're like, I sold that car to that crew. I know that car.
So yeah, they've been having some issues with the motor. So they've got a rebuilt motor in it, and that was good to go. The only thing that they did not do, which was somewhat problematic, was actually finalize the exhaust by installing the muffler. The muffler.
They were tired by then, almost exhausted.
Oh, ba-dum-bum.
So it had the thing that I requested for many, many times for our exhaust builds, was a nice 2-bolt or 3-bolt flat flange. You could just put a gasket on, whoop, no problem. So it had that. He had the muffler that mounted to it. I think it was a 35 to 65 pound muffler. I'm not really sure, but it was heavy. I'm not too terrible. And we did finally get that mounted on. Not without issue. So Saturday, we start the Lucky Dog race. So they do the pre-race meeting with Kathy, super awesome. Good crew. I do like how they go randomly call out some teams. Hey, team 333 over there. Okay, all your drivers here. Yeah, okay, boom, you won this little award thing. Whatever.
They want to make sure everybody shows up.
Well, for showing up to the mandatory drivers meeting,
right? So they're going to do some rando calls.
Yes. She did mention something about electronic safety signing, something or whatever it was. And how that she did call out the West Coast for being pretty slack on getting that type of paperwork done or non-paperwork. I think she said they were about like 38%, whereas East Coast they all just do it, just do whatever the electronic signing is, whatever. It is what it is. 2 points for the East Coast because we're just paying the next.
We're obnoxious, but we listen to directions.
We try to, yeah, because we don't want to talk to you either. You know what I'm saying? So what they do in Lucky Dog is they spend about an hour. They spend the hour before the race starts at 10, the 9 to 9:40 time frame for a quali practice situation. They looked at the field and saw that there were some pretty fast cars out there, and actually didn't do it as open format as they've done in the past, where it was the first session was going to be the faster two groups, if you will, A's and B's, and then I think it was, I forget, B's and C's for the second 20 minutes. So 9 to 9:20 was the faster cars, 9:20, 9:40 was the slower cars, which was us. We were intending to be in Group C, Class D, or whatever the case may be. So that was the story. So unfortunately, the car didn't get out the first 20 minutes, but then I took it out, at 9:20 in the car. Car felt good. No worries. No.
Wait a minute.
What happened?
Being somewhat familiar with Lucky Dog.
Yeah.
When you're doing the qualifying lap, you're supposed to send out your fast driver.
Yeah, so the deaf guys, they don't always read the instructions anyway. No, it's more about just getting me out there to get some familiarity with the car and the track before race time. So we weren't as worried about where they were going to place us or whatever. And if I listen to the instructions right, which yeah, so it seemed like
why start now?
Yeah, when you line up to start the race, you line yourself up in the one you want to be in, and then you're. So if you think you're C and you line up with B, you've just declared yourself B. You're B now. So I'm pretty sure we lined up with C to stay in C class unless we break out or whatever the case may be. So I went out and I did my quali stuff, and I was like, "Hey, this is going great." And then I was just thinking back to that Thompson race with known as meatballs. Balls. Anyway, so I got the meatball flag. And I was like, the 258, that's me.
Were you hungry?
I was always a little bit. But in this case, there was something I didn't know. I did not go anywhere near anybody else. I did not go anywhere near off track. It was like 3 laps, whatever. They brought me in, you come into the pit in with Lucky Dog, you get your timer. You speak to one of the fine representatives there, and I was not persistent enough to be like, "Hey, what's wrong with my car?" See, that's what I should have said, and I didn't say those words because I was in a race car that's really loud. Turns out the race car was too loud because of the 30-pound muffler sitting in Jeff's garage that didn't get installed because they didn't seem to think it was a problem. Yeah. So listen, I get rules are rules. However,
can we call the ACLU for this is definitely prejudicial against deaf people.
I was stirring the pot all weekend, don't you worry.
You know what though, that is kind of funny.
but the thing is like, okay, sure, I get that, but we also spent like 3.5 hours on track on Friday, ripping, full race pace, full PRs, whatever. Nobody said nothing about sound.
You just said it sounds fine to us.
But I'm saying, like, there was like a ton of time on Friday. We were running on track. They weren't testing that, and they didn't figure out. They're not going to go that fast.
Well, they didn't hear a thing, Alan.
They didn't hear nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
That's fine. I would play that card. I'd play the card.
Well, we were playing cards, all right. And the ones we were dealt weren't so solid.
I'm thinking, the other thing, maybe you're just faster than they were, and you're using more engine.
It's probably it's possible. It's definitely possible.
No, it's not. But we're going to say it's possible.
It's definitely not.
So now you got a muffler issue. So did you get it squared away?
So here's the deal. I don't know if you've ever been to a racetrack on race weekend. Sometimes people's minds don't always stay so tight with what a logical plan might be. So our first round was to get some little spark arrestor, I believe this, some little tapered cone thing of stainless steel design with 3 little tabby things that you're supposed to put in there, and it's supposed to quiet it down.
That shape reminds me of a dunce cap, by the way.
I felt like it. So that was the theory. So we dropped a fabulous Mr. Franklin down. We got this thing, and of course now we have a flat flange. We have a round thing. It's too big for the hole. We did like 2 different hose clamps of large diameter. And some very strong safety wire.
Is this a pro move?
This was not a pro move. So we attempted to
Can I go
field
back?
expedited repair, and we did not succeed.
Can I go back 5 minutes?
Yeah, what happened?
Uh, Jeff lives 30 minutes from the track. What?
Yes.
Okay, I was just go for it.
And if you don't remember, the fabulous PIR, which does run drags on Friday and Saturday nights right down the main straight, super cool. They do not have a tunnel or a bridge for vehicular travel.
I am very familiar with that because
you are
I sat
inside
on
of
the
track.
other side.
You are inside of track, and if you
Oh,
were
when you're
outside
in
of
track, you're in
you were
track, and
outside of
that's
track.
it.
That's it. That's
Well,
it.
I never had to worry about that part.
Yeah. So then, the
I
other
went
side
to
of
get
it
the
is,
engine and sat there for the whole race on the other
Yeah, but
side.
I
you were
do
on the
remember
yes,
that.
yes.
I do. Like there was
So,
windows of time you could come across.
But that window never opened for us.
No.
Anyway, so yeah. So we end up so because of the drags Friday, Saturday night, you have to actually go in turn 8, which is like this whole older wandering, not sure where you're going, but you just trust the process. You get there. So we did actually have a car outside of the track, so we could have gone to get it, but we thought with attempt 1 was to stuff this thing in there, and then we should be fine. Because within 3 laps, I was able to ring the bell and know that I was not appropriate.
Because you can walk across, you can't drive across.
Yes, you can walk across. You can go across the bridge that's like 4 stories tall. Yeah. So
I do remember that now.
yes, it's a nice bridge, but it's So we're like, okay. Our first driver was our reverse order. I think it was Lonnie. Yeah, it was Lonnie started. So he goes out and he got a solid like hour 20 before they were like, hey, that car's too loud. I was like, there's like 17, 18, there's 35 Miatas out here. I don't even know. They all looked about the same. Thankfully, we had like a little different color patch on the side of the wang. So we knew, that one's ours. And then that was it. Okay, that was it. But so then they got too loud. So that was when I believe Eric, Mr. T, for those
could
who
you
know.
say, Eric, sir, could you have perhaps gone with the logic that, Eric, our car is not too loud. The other ones are too quiet.
There's a good point there because there was a little quietness going on.
Play all the cards.
So I was in the our pit area, which was very tight compared to what we're used to for a Lemons weekend. Just the geography was just a very tight little narrow alleyway, kind of like a European style, if you will.
A slim, not a regular.
Yes,
not a husky.
Yes, no. So I believe, and speaking to Eric later, he did say that he told Jeff to put a muffler on it before he put it back on track again, and we did not do that. We instead decided that strategery was a better option.
Well, Jeff probably didn't hear him.
He probably didn't, yeah. So our strategery plan was to alter our line so as to not be so close to the left wall, be closer to the right wall, because the exit kind of angled this way. It didn't have any Laguna pipes, so that's why we were in trouble.
Oh, geez.
Then maybe shift sooner, short shift, because we're so fast, we don't want to devastate everyone's self-esteem.
So I'm assuming that didn't work.
Well,
no, that took about 15 minutes, and then we were done for the day.
So
he decided to work on.
My hand was raised for go get the freaking muffler. Like, I'll go get the muffler. I know a guy usually that doesn't mind running errands and stuff. So I was like, hey, I'll go get the muffler.
I'll run it across the bridge.
I'll just go I'll carry it over.
I'll carry it like a football.
And then one of the process, actually, when we were going there, we were going across, and the Miata next to us, that you couldn't even tie your shoes without hitting the Miata around this place. So the Miata next to us was only in 5th gear. So they did have a transmission on the outside. So as I'm going out, I'm trying to back up, like, hey, what's behind us? What is that? Oh, that's the Miata guys with their transmission. I'm like, yeah, I'll help you carry that. Fucking bad idea.
Transmission is not light, sir.
I thought a Miata I was like, the Miata transmission.
But it's like a mile walk.
Yeah, it is. I don't know why it's so big. I thought size didn't matter. Anyway. So I helped the one gentleman up the stairs. We get about 2/3 of the way up to 4 flights of stairs. And he's like, I gotta take a break. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
I had
So I
to
put
take
down a
out. I
breathing.
had to take altitude pills to go over that bridge.
So then I kind of elbow him out of the way so I can get the last bit up. And then meanwhile, I see one. Hey, I'm waving a teammate down, one of their guys. I don't know who any of them are, by the way. We'll just call him Chris. So he comes over, he helps me get up, and right as we get to the top of the stairs, very smart, he says, "Hey, if you need to put it down, just let me know." Meanwhile, I'm like, I can't even breathe. How am I going to tell you? I can't. I'm like, I'm almost dead right now. I just carried this. I made it like over halfway across the bridge. Said, let me put it down here. And then thankfully one of his teammates was there, and I like walked away breathing as heavy as I have in probably 10 years. Yeah.
So, you know, Monday morning quarterback, even though this
Yes.
is Tuesday afternoon.
It's fine.
With Lucky Dog being virtually drop a quarter and you're going to hit a Miata.
Yeah.
Perhaps one of the Miata teams may have had a muffler for Miata.
So, the Miata teams are super awesome. Let's start out with that right off the bat. That woman next to me fed me all day long, like a lot, like putting the wrap together with the hash brown and the bacon and the scrambled eggs.
Muffler.
Okay, sorry.
No,
So
I'm looking at you. You look a little healthy.
yes. So the thing is, it's an A Miata with an NB motor, so it's an NB exhaust. So we had a muffler that fit. We really just wanted those little shorty shit cans to just get you out the back and give you like 5-10 dB. That's it. We had a factory one that we ended up bolting on. But no, nobody else had one. We did actually, as I've done before, look for cars that have not died and see if there's any parts on them you can use, because they're not using it right now.
How do you forget a muffler though?
You're deaf. It doesn't come to mind.
It's kind of a deaf thing. I don't want to pick on them for that, but if it's not bothering you, you just don't notice it. Like it's not.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
And they've had issues swapping motors and stuff. I'm just not sure why the chassis didn't have one. And speaking with our other driver, Michael, Mike L, if you don't have all the valves, he said it was one of the ladder cars in the field, and he's done some stints. He was with GHiT Racing, if that's how you say it. I'm not sure. A 2 Miata team last year went down to 1 Miata team this year, so Mike bumped out to another race team. So 2 thumbs up to Mike. Awesome driver, good guy. Helped me through figuring out what the heck's going on with some of the different stuff and Miata things.
Is the other team going to let him have his A and his E back so he can pronounce his name right?
He might. I don't know. One of the other guys that was on that team did actually come over with his little electric pit bike, pulling the wagon with that little yellow Chinese welder everybody has, to actually fix our exhaust hanger, which literally consisted of whatever AutoZone or which flaps was the flavor of the day. We did hit 6 of them. He just did Flying Miata exhaust, and then somehow magically got the gasket part number with a 2-bolt flange, and they had it for $5 at the counter immediately. I was like, that was eerily too easy, but I'll take it. We did go back. We cut off the 3 exhaust hangers for the muffler. So we have the stock rubber hangers in reasonably appropriate locations. We did actually take 1 bolt and just make it also an assist for the 1 exhaust hanger, because, well, when you cut them off the body, you couldn't always get a lot of the metal back out of it. So you had to just pull a little extra something in there. The beauty was actually using the welder to do it. So Mike had bought a brand new Predator inverter style welder, very large, rectangular in shape, probably 4,500, 3,500 at least. I'm not sure what the numbers are. Never been with the numbers.
Numbers are hard.
So we had the low idle turned off, but it also had it built in because it's an inverter. It doesn't idle up all the way until you're using it. So with the welder being an on-off type of thing, what the trick we ended up doing was we took an angle grinder, as I am always a fan of. We took the angle grinder, you get that going, so the generator gets a little bit off, right? Maybe gets 2,000 or 3,000 RPM, whatever the generator RPMs are. And then you start welding, and then you let go of the grinder, so that then the welder has all the juice, and then everything's just fine. It was just like it's stepping up and stuff. The welder couldn't handle the fact that the generator wasn't already running. It was like, I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go? I'm not waiting until you're ready. Yeah, it took about 6 tries. And then I think...
Who's on first?
I don't know. And I think they barely kindly figured it out at the end. Just about. It was close. It was close.
So how much of Saturday was spent poorly fixing and how much was spent racing?
No, the beauty was, he asked us several times. Russ was like, "Hey, how do you want this fixed?" We're like, "No, we want it fixed right. We don't want to just do it just for half a second to get out there because we're not going the rest of the day." So it was nice to have daylight, some time, not some things open, things like that, to get some parts and the like. But no, it was all done. So we were basically done prepping with the car by the time the track went cold.
Oh, so you only raced a little bit Saturday.
Only raced a little bit Saturday, yeah, because we were just
At that point, you're testing. You're testing
Yeah,
for
it
Sunday.
was.
You're testing
It
for
was.
Sunday.
At,
Right.
at best.
At best. Yeah. So it did. The swap over to get the muffler on did go very well. In that you have factory hangers. It didn't rattle, didn't shake, didn't nothing. Bolted up super nice, and we were good to go. The rest of the car felt really good. The lap times I think was like a 133, 134.
Oh, that's good.
Which was really good for them. And just looking at the standings that Kathy keeps posting of the whatever series it is for the West Coast or whichever it is, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. The team that was in first, I'm not going to say who it was definitely the team that we were able to pass without too much trouble. So 2 points to the people setting up that chassis. You guys rock. It was awesome. Super easy to do what you need to do with. And then my man Mike with the valve, he was able to just talk to me about tire pressures and you want this, do you want this, do you want to be able to do throttle steer? I was like, yes, please. So he set some numbers up so we were in good shape. And yeah, that was the story with that. So yes, we were down for Saturday. We were bumming. So then we started Sunday. So they were going with if it was A, B, C, D, that's for the driver lineup, it was going to be reverse order for Sunday. So the letters in backwards, if you know what those are. I'm sure if I can pull up for DUI because I am not seeing these letters backwards. So then we sent Mike out to start, and he was ripping, doing really good. I think he did get so Sunday, there was some aggression that fell out on the track. Apparently.
Oh no!
I don't know. Yeah, it was. I didn't even see the plane, but there was some pixie dust or something that landed, and there was some aggression. Because
it was New Jersey came over for a little bit.
Something. I don't know what it was. I thought I showered and everything. I don't know what. It was something odd. I don't know. So
how many cars? How many cars in the aggression?
Well, a lot. So we had the regular driver's meeting
first
thing.
Lot.
No problem. All right, get out there, have fun, let's go. And then like a half hour in, black flag all, drivers out, drivers meeting.
Oh no!
I have heard 10 passenger yellows in that first half hour.
It was ridiculous. He literally just started calling out names.
This is putting everybody in timeout.
We had this car do this. We had this car drive by this many, black flags. It was very, very ugly stats. And I don't like math or stats, and they were ugly.
Oh, I bet Kathy was angry.
It was Eric. Yeah, Eric was just like, this is.
Oh, Eric, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, got him back in the car. All right, let's get out there. Let's get going. Got out again, and then
don't make me pull you off again.
Within a half hour, it was okay. Black flag all. Hold them in hot pit, and then just like few are gonna get talked. And then don't get the drivers out of the car. Leave them in the car. We're just gonna talk to you, and you, because you don't know what you're doing, and you should. You and you. So there's a few teams that I could start talking to, and then send them back out on the track. I certainly do love the race monitor notes feature that I was not really aware of until someone showed me how to use it, because I guess I'm too old. Where it just talks about chunks of this car left on this, or this car hit that car. Yeah, it was pretty funny watching some of those. And then we were up there as car number 258, sound violation, DQ. Thanks, pal, you're the best. Anyway,
just for once, it wasn't you in the notes section.
It was not me in the notes section. Nope, that's true. So we sent Mike out. We had these few issues with people, driving like race car drivers, I guess, and things, and not so good ideas around the vortex of danger. But you do you, boo. I'm not going to judge. Other people are doing that already. So so we got out there, and then we did have some noise issues. And at this point, I can't point fingers at the deaf guys. Because when you do, they think you're saying something, and I don't know what the hell I'm saying, so I try not to point fingers at them, because they're watching all the time. They're like, hey, what's this guy doing? So what happened was we had a timing belt idler pulling back out,
Oh,
and it adjusted the non-adjustable cam timing. Fortunately, it's not an interference motor, so things don't smash into each other. But there was a video posted online. Not sure if you saw it or heard it.
Did not.
But it was one of very large, much an extra valve clatter that was in the recording. And then after that cleared up, then you could hear the rod knock. So it was,
no.
yeah. Well, it was one of those things like I was just about ready to get in, and they're like, "Hey, let me see." I said, "Put the video in the group chat," because we had a team group chat, so we could try to keep abreast of what's going on. And I listened to it, and I was like, "Oh no, I don't need this. I'm just gonna take these right off. I'll, yeah, yeah, it's fine."
No, you took his uniform off.
Yeah.
What is it with us at PIR, man?
It was one of those things where, like I started the race weekend with 3 laps this time, and last time I ended the race weekend with 3 laps. I'm not sure I did it. I need to start and end at the same race so that would be something we could try for.
So we've had 2 races now at PIR as a team, and I
Yeah, so
believe
much fun.
I
Yeah.
believe 6 laps total.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
it's
So
a
I mean,
we problem. Maybe we're
it's
bringing it.
I think it's just quality over quantity. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some people just like to show up with all the laps, like driving all the time and using all the gas, whereas we don't always.
We have literally flown on more planes than we've done laps to get to this race.
He's not lying.
They had us in the plane. They said the AC was working, but only if we could fly without any clouds anywhere. And I was like, what? They made us get out of the plane.
Well,
They had to get a whole other plane.
at least jet engines are non-interference fit engines, so you're fine there.
Exactly.
Well, I was going to ask you your feelings on the track since we finally got to get on it, but I guess I got to wait again.
I mean, I am YouTube certified. I've spent many an hour on company time watching the YouTube videos, those Miata suckers going around PIR, and they're just right, oh, little pesky little buggers. Man, the yellow one's not behind you, then it's the green one. Then the red one gets by you, and oh man. So I did a lot of video watching to get myself ready for it. I hopped in the car. I did not know that was one of the cars set up by the Koch brothers. So that's super cool. And that definitely explains. It had a really nice wing setup with a cross brace on the back. I'm not sure how it.
Yeah, they're wing people.
Yeah, so it was super nice.
One of them.
And now I think the split. I think I sent you pictures of the splitter.
Yep.
That it's 3/4 inch plywood.
Yep.
With a
Absolutely.
Splatter paint. And it does work super good. Car felt really like just right there. So it was a bummer we didn't get more time on track with it, but one of the things I was looking for was just
over 4.5 minutes, Alan. I mean,
yeah, it's true. Well, no, with my lap times it was probably like 6.
We're just gonna have to try again.
That's definitely the thing. So I don't know if the Ridge or I don't know what the next one is, or I don't really know names or numbers. But no, it was a super fun experience. And my thing with that was like, all right, now I just need to add value. And the whole time it was really just, let me just add value to this team because as much as it seems like I'm there to race cars, like I love watching how the teams interact and like, hey, who does this here and who does that there? And, like just seeing the different pieces where people fit in and some of that. So, just kind of watching the other teams and, glomming food from the woman next door because that's what you do. But no, just trying to see what they have in their package that maybe they can add to try to make them better. We're garage heroes in training. We're trying to get better at what we're doing here. We're trying to figure stuff out. I honestly, and I've said it many a time, I will beg, borrow, and steal any good ideas as a teacher, parent, coach, whatever. That's just how we do.
You don't limit yourself to the good ideas, though, Alan.
No, I don't. I never seem to differentiate. Anyway,
it's equal opportunity.
Yeah, come on down.
Bad idea. I'm in.
Let's go. Yeah, I got time.
My flight's going to get canceled anyway, so why not?
Right. So I didn't carry that transmission all the way. Like the stairs the way. I was like, oh my god. So,
again, we're not Tuesday afternoon picking on you. You mentioned that there is a scooter with this tow behind cart. Perhaps you could have used that to walk the half a mile down to the bridge.
so they did. No, we actually were pitted right near the bridge. So
Okay.
So
they
you could
did
have
it
just lofted something over.
pretty close. You're just about, yeah, it was close enough.
It
With
wasn't.
just
It wasn't
enough.
the quarter mile that we had to go, and
No, it was not the full. No,
we
yeah,
were first pit, and bridge
we were
is like
first pit.
another
We were
time
just
zone.
about last pit. Yeah, I think there was like three or four after us. And when I say one pit, I'm talking like but pull forward, back in diagonal, like true European race car fashion pit stop.
Le Mans
There was
start.
not a full room for a full Miata length for each pit stall because it was loaded. We were in there tight.
How many cars, roughly?
I think 66 I saw once on Race Monitor.
That's a good amount.
Yeah, so there's a good number of cars, a lot of Miatas. But right where we're located with two extension cords, we could plug into the outside outlet of the bathrooms.
See,
And then we didn't have to
Alan's
run
an
the generator.
opportunist when it comes to electric.
I will sneak that electricity from anybody. Yeah, I ain't shy.
What's this plugged into my trailer?
Hey,
oh, that's Alan.
I left a note for the guy. He didn't even look at it. I was like, I left you a note. He's like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah. Oh, okay. He was just all heated because I plugged my 50 amp in. Anyway,
All
so
right,
we were looking. We had some electricity, so we could charge a couple batteries. We tried to do our live stream. We found many of the first round and second round faults in our system, in that the cables kept falling out of their plugging operations. First, they had the cigarette lighter adapter horizontal, so the second round failure was the plug popped out of the socket. The first time, the USB pulled out of the charging plug. Okay, so they taped that in. Then the whole thing falls out. Now they tape that in. And I'm not sure what the failure was the third time, or if we did get the third time. But we did get a little bit of live stream, and then we didn't have live stream.
Oh.
So we tried.
I mean, far be it from you not to zip tie the hell out of something.
There were zip ties involved. The camera was mounted pretty well, and we did actually adjust it from practice to show a little less driver, a little bit more, so you could see most of the whole front window. So we did try some of that. I did put some birthday wishes to Cooper. Happy birthday, Cooper. You rock, buddy, Mr. 5-year-old. Just because I was missing his birthday party at home, so we had to do the thing. So we got that up there, and it was great on the live stream until the car didn't run. No, so it was super fun. A great race weekend. We were parked nice and close to the bridge, so we had electricity there. It was a haul all the way to get down to the bridge, the main, I want to say bridge, the tower, where they had the drivers meeting, right? So that was a walk for us, but basically you just got to see all the cars that were there on the way. So whatever.
Well, I know you had to travel with no ride on.
Exactly. See, it was all foot traffic, so it was definitely. I felt a little limited, but yeah, it's fine. We had plenty of beverages. We were in good shape.
All right. So one of the things that we love is Lucky Dog always has sponsors donate things and then they raffle them off for charity. Did you win anything? Did you see anything that was cool?
They what did they end up doing? They were raffling off a race entry, and then since people are throwing down the money, like she decided that she's like, all right, I don't want to see you guys fight for each other. Let's have you both throw some money down. So she raffled off 2 race entries for $3,500 each.
Wow.
For charity. So that was huge. They're always doing something like that. I think I wasn't up close when they were throwing the hat stuff down. We were throwing hats like crazy down, and some different bags and different things like that. And like I said, during the driver's meeting, she gave her like 2 or 3 different like $100 to $500 awards for something. My team wasn't as plussed with our day's success at the end of the day, let's just say. So they weren't as interested in go to the awards. So I didn't actually see the awards at the end of each day, just because we weren't necessarily participating in them in the broadest of sense. We're there in spirit, just not there, on the podiums. It was nice to see that the chassis is right there. The people that do the math that are definitely better at numbers than I am. It sounded like we would stay in C class with myself and Jeff being the anchors to the other drivers' speedier times. It would put his average right in the spot. And like I said, the other team, I believe, was Bunny Boys. Mike was like, yeah, I can just pass them. It's not like challenging. It's not like you're zooming by them. There's Miatas. But a second or two on the lap or whatever, he was definitely able to get by them. So the chassis is right there. We just need to keep a little more of the fluids and noises inside the motor.
I
So
believe by contract, when you're passing in a Miata, you're not zooming by, you're zooming by.
zoom.
Yes.
Indeed, yeah. So, and the beauty is, and if you did see any of the social media put out by Kathy and Lucky Dog there, they have an awesome drone shot because they did run drones a bunch this weekend, 4K
No
something,
way.
100%. So you have a overhead shot at the chicane with 3 cars, the third car being 258 with Lonnie at the wheel, and it was definitely not aimed at the same angle that the others were.
Wow.
So super cool just to see some of that, and a couple of the pictures they put out there. I believe one of the other ones that they put up was the GHiT, and basically when we were doing showing me where to do it, it was like, oh, here's your curb, and you just put your tires right over the curb, either side, and you just straddle the boom, and you're fine. And sure enough, like the shot from the camera guy on the side, and then the overhead says the same thing. Like, oh, these 2 guys are here. Oh, this guy's already made the turn already. Oh, he's going that way. Oh, one of these 3 is not like the sailors.
Just think what that 4th lap would have been like.
Oh man, it was. I'm just saying, it's right there. It's right there, right up here all the time.
Oh my gosh. So were there any memorable cars or teams?
A couple cool cars. There was a newer, and I must apologize to the Miata community. I don't know the ABCs of what I'm talking about or D's. There was a newer Miata, very green, very LS3 Corvette swapped.
Oh, wow.
With super big, yeah. So it was kind of like the Hulk. Like it was the green. It had the nice fender arches to try to cover the tires.
Did it have fists on the front?
Didn't need them because you could just see it. So, and I happened to be around the bridge. Nice cool breeze as you chill up there. And something he said the right rear just locked on him. We don't know if the diff locked, and then he did a nice twirly do with the bump in the butt and the turn to smash in the face. So it was kind of like a Hulk smash.
Hulk smash.
And I just turned, like the picture I have has like the smoke and then like the lines in the car, and then of course I told him he couldn't park there, but they didn't listen to me. Anyway, that's my death. So and I'm watching like, wow, this guy's really like in his car for a long time before safety gets to him. So I'm sure he was giving the old, I'm fine, like I'm just lost. Anyway, I'll get this car out of here soon. Anyway, yeah, so they did have to do the old, I think they did the front wheels on the lift at the back of the wrecker, and then the cable to pull the back wheels up, because the back wheels were no rolly, no spinny, no rolly. So it was an air jail from the green Miata. Yeah, a couple other, you had the variety of the really nice looking cars, and then oh my God, what is this thing? I'm not even, does it have all the body panels? So there was one, I can try to send you some pictures of it later. And my shock was that it had the same brake rotors and calipers, front and rear. Not so common, typically a little bigger in the front, whatever.
Balanced that way.
Engineers.
Balanced.
This was a fabulous mid-engine example of a beat up race car. So as I always seem to do, I just chat over somebody and, hey, how you doing? Whatever. Not that I wander anyway. So, sure enough, the guy, I was like, are those the same rotors? Like, yep, same caliper, same rotors, front and rear. I'm like, pretty cool. All right.
It's easy for brake shopping.
Yeah, I'm just always checking stuff out. It's just kind of weird to see a car with the exact same rotors, front and rear. Even just like it can be the same rotor diameter, but the hat's different or the whatever. But these are some pretty fancy Wildwoods.
Well, think of the brake pads you save. You just have one set for front or back.
Exactly. Just you rotate them right around like the tires, right? We could get a schedule for that.
Or you can drive the car backwards and win.
I did see our friend 196.
Dun, 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 dun.
We know and love her. She's had a little work done. As in apparently the adjustable suspension geometry. I don't know if you remember before, the one where they had the steering wheel, you push pull for your ride height. It was not all like that. It was more like you turn the wheel and the toe would go out like 3 inches, whatever, whenever.
We are familiar, sir.
Yes. So so that one was there. Apparently that part did get fixed, but it has an Acura nose now because it's kind of upscale, I guess. But just looking at that with those side doors rolled down, I got a little woo.
I tell you, it's a terrifying ride.
But just to think that that car's still ripping out there, just still turning some laps, doing its thing, having some fun out there.
It may be more pertinent to say that that number car is still ripping out there. I'm not sure it's the same car.
It's the same chassis. It is the same chassis.
Really?
They have an Acura nose on it, a red with the A, but
Well,
you know,
no, okay, but listen, the one that we originally drove at PIR,
yeah.
that one ended up wrecking.
It didn't. It had issues, and it may have crashed, but he said he stripped it to the chassis, and he found that the pivot for the control arms was just wallered out. So it's just
No, no, no,
moving
no,
side to
no,
side.
no. That because that the when we had gone out to
Yeah.
use that same car in
Oh, he said it was wrecked. Yeah,
California, they
right.
said at Laguna Seca, they said the car
Yeah.
that we were going to rent from him, which I think was the one that we had at PIR, the team before it wrecked it. So he
What
had to slam a new car together for us at
he may have still fixed it after that. It might
Laguna
have been.
Seca.
It's
Yeah,
the
but
same one. It's the same car. I was
is
like, is
it?
it? Because he told me, he's like, oh, you want to tell me what's wrong with it? It wasn't your guys' bad driving. I'm like, are
Oh
you kidding?
yeah, because yeah.
Um, but
Oh,
no,
that
we
was
did
Laguna
that.
Seca. Yeah,
Yeah, but no, let's see other cool cars.
thing
The
was like a
one
bulldog.
there was a really nice hat car. I'll send you the picture of it. That was I think it was, I forget which chassis Corvette it was, but it was so nice. And it was just one of those, like, it had that like a four-door sedan type chassis, but the trunk was just like truncated, if you will. Like
Truncated.
being much slightly shorter. But it was so cool looking. Kind of like the Tata's car back in the day where they had that, whatever, I forget the name of the trunk, where it kind of bumps down a little bit and it's a little short little tail scooting around. Really nice looking BMWs and some other cars. I don't think I saw any. All right, I was going to say Porsches. There were none of the 911s, but definitely a 944, maybe two. I'd say something like that. What else? A lot of Miatas. A lot of Miatas. Oh, and side note, that transmission that we did carry over, and they were able to swap in, so they no longer just had fifth gear. They did manage to money shift it, so they had to.
Oh,
Fine.
you know, if they only had one gear, they wouldn't have money shifted it.
I'm just saying. So they ended up towing it home to the guy's house, swapped out another 2.5 Ecotech or some sort of 2.5, like an MX, similar engine, I believe the three pedal has in their white Mazda.
EcoBurst.
They swapped in another one, and it was not as robust as they kind of hoped. I think the people got their laps in, and they're like, yeah, it's just not safe to have this out there. It's too slow, which is usually what they say about me. But anyway, so that was kind of fun to see that car out there. What else? Nothing too exotic. Just some really nice hardware, though. Definitely nice to see. And then a couple of the two level up pit crews where it's the stacker big rig backed up, where it's got the big tank of a rolling toolbox that you could park on pit wall and sit on top of with your screens if you
that way you can see better.
I see better.
Yeah, they always. I've seen them around.
Listen, like if I had a friend with it, I'd be like, hey, can I borrow the rig this weekend? I got my friends over. We're going somewhere.
So did all the cars make it to the end, or did some end up not so lucky? As in,
there's probably 20% attrition. There was a good amount, and a lot of them aren't going too crazy to fix stuff or some of that.
No accidents, nothing. That was
a couple here and there. There was one car that got racked up pretty good. That had to get also, I believe it was in full air jail, just because it did not have a lot of rolling wheels to touch the ground. But the driver was safe, no issues with that.
Oh, excellent.
So in that sense, it was just a great race weekend.
When is there not a great race weekend? It doesn't matter.
Well, there is truth in that. The weather was, slightly warmer on Saturday and definitely okay on Sunday. Overcast enough so you can still get burned if you wanted to or not. Like it wasn't just survival mode. You know what I'm saying? But you did keep moving as keep creeping out of the sun. Hey, move the chairs over here, move the chairs over there. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else they had. Nothing else popped to mind. But
did you stay at the track?
We did not. We stayed at Jeff's house because he's like half hour away.
Okay, good.
So it was just one of those things where, and it was such a tight paddock area that there was kind of like open area you could have paddocked and stuff like that. But when he's got his house right there, we gotta do the thing.
So you could drive to his house to sleep, but you couldn't drive to his house to get a muffler.
Again, it's choices, and I'm always known for making questionable
Terrible
choices.
choices.
So it was
Well,
one of
I
those where
mean,
I was quietly
that
in my
was
head saying, hey, I would really like to just go now and just get that. Even though you put that, let me just go now and get it so that I can come back and continue to wander. And then we could have it, and then we got the third one, But I mean, I've never had an instance where we had 3 warnings and something and we were kicked out. I wouldn't know about that. So,
No, it was only 2 warnings.
oh, two for that one. My apologies.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we yeah. So then I was like, they tried to appeal it, but it fell on deaf ears.
Oh man.
Sorry,
All right.
Uh,
All right.
and then just for the record, I was killing it all weekend with dad jokes, and they didn't hear one of them.
No,
I just
they just don't pay
so
attention sometimes.
brutal.
So we've come to the part of the podcast that is perhaps the scariest part of the podcast that has ever happened in our 700 and whatever episodes. I am going to let Alan make an executive decision. Alan, should we go back to PIR or should we just like say it's cursed? We should go somewhere else on the West Coast.
I don't I think you definitely should because Jeff lives right there, right? So
But I
now
heard he
Lonnie,
doesn't share his mufflers. He only keeps them at his house.
he does keep him at the house, but then under
He
coercion,
hoards mufflers.
we had to twist his arm, and then
Mm-hmm.
we were able to get the muffler out of
Love
him.
Jeff. I do. He's such a great guy.
It So yeah, no, it was super awesome. And the thing is, immersing myself in the team, I just try to add value. Like, what can I do to be helpful? What can I do that would make things better? And a lot of it was just evaluating and kind of seeing how they're doing stuff and trying to figure out how to build my team better. Right? How do I go to the next team and help figure to bring this and bring that? In this case, Mike made sure to bring a bunch of extra power tools, the extra drills, the impacts, the sawzall, the whatever, which was super nice. I don't know what street urchin crack cocaine seller he had put the exhaust on last time with whatever hanger, because I was like, what is this? What did you what? Because when you bolt the muffler on, it has a hanger right there that you can just use that we just moved to fit, and it's there. But without the other half of the flange, you don't have the hanger. So you did things like put like a 6-inch bolt with like a band strap and some wire twisted, and there was an exhaust. I'm sorry, an AC flange, like the 2-bolt flange that goes through, like just to hold the hanger up. I was like,
and for the home gamers who have perhaps not had Alan on the podcast before, when Alan says something is janky,
I mean it. I'm not fooling around. Like,
I mean his janky scale is pretty high.
I wrapped it up in the
Yeah.
bag, and I was like, this is going to stay just like this. Can we preserve it? This will be a time capsule over here. I did meet some awesome people, as we always like to do. One of them was Bob, Box of Bolts. But yeah, honestly, you're like, hey, where's Bob? You're like, right over here. You're like, okay, good. And we were, putting our hands right all around Bob, pulling some good stuff out. So definitely helpful. Yeah, something also really valuable, just like me. I realized I'm a really good sous chef. Right about 45 minutes to an hour and a half after I finish eating. So as long as I can get fed first, I can help you get fed too. So I just, that's what I learned on this weekend. I'm like, geez, that makes me totally useless when it's time to make dinner, doesn't it? Yeah, that's great. Anyway, moving on. Some more of my great traits. No, I would say PIR is a good track. I did like it. The surrounding area is like pretty sketchy. So either just stay in the track or
I know,
whatever.
and you sent me everywhere the time we were out there. Everywhere. We
so
bought every single
so
rubber
sorry.
glove out of one flaps and had to go start at a second flaps because you used them all.
I'm so sorry.
It was so
but
much. We did
who
such
knew
damage.
you could rebuild like a whole motor like in the bed of a pickup truck? Like,
I had women asking
No
me to
idea.
do things to me that I A, didn't have interest in, and
What?
B, did not apparently have the money for what they were willing to charge.
What? Yeah, no, it's interesting just seeing differences in what's out there and what's here and some of that. Yeah, I was inside a car each time driving around. Speaking of traveling inside the car, the deaf culture, there's differences going on there. This time we had another friend with us, Kira, our interpreter, who was also hearing. I'm not sure the
Oh,
PC way to
nice.
say what's going on, whatever it is. But as we're driving at night, he's turning on the dome light so he can see what Lonnie's saying to him in the back while he's driving. And I'm like,
Well, I mean,
hey,
You noticed I didn't turn the light on to see what you were saying.
not at all. Not even looking.
that's awesome.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I mean, just think you just immersed yourself in deaf culture.
Well, and I think just as with any team, like you try to kind of see, like, because, we're so awesome and so good, we can see where other people fall a little short in some aspects. And someone's just trying to help out. Like, hey, I think you forgot this. Hey, let's try to get this. Like, leaving for the check, I think I lost my water bottle and something else like 3 different times. I was like, you guys are kidding me. But,
I'm not shocked at all.
It's just
No,
what it is.
Well, here's the
Don't worry.
thing is that you're out of your element. So when nothing is yours or no systems or what you're built on, and I know, hey, the ADHD, it's the ADHD. You're
I was
thinking of the
looping in
next and not in
circles.
the current.
And I had it down to the backpack that I got from going to Toro training and my other little bag, because now I borrowed a race suit from him. So I didn't have to carry that with me. But then it meant the helmet, the Hans, the gloves, the shoes, the whatever socks, the head socks, and the rest were all in my carry-on. And they did like the Hans. They really like to touch that, by the way. Anyway.
So I know you're a fan of Pro Moves.
Yeah.
And may I suggest a Pro Move of mine? Mail the helmet and the Hans.
Okay. All right.
So much easier.
I have a really good problem though, in that my dad signed up for a track day, HPDE, if you will, at Lime Rock with BMW, a BMW Car Club event, excuse me. He's done a couple different track events
involved now
through BMW corporate. I didn't. He's getting pulled on the new retail side. This is not, like I've done my thing. I put him in the car. Yeah. So we've done his car. So what that means is they have your name and phone number and email address. So he gets the email, 30% off track day with Trackzilla or some startup, no idea, very laid back, super fun event at Lime Rock. So he's done 2 track days, and I think today he was doing a track day again. So I can't even send the helmets out ahead because we're using them. He's borrowing them. Like,
that's how it starts, Alan.
Quinn went over to stay at my dad's place to help him out, bring a helmet, and then drive to come get me. And then luckily he just kind of went home and stayed there and waited till it was actually time to come get me, because I was in a real plane that was really flying to Connecticut. But yes, I digress.
So all in all, good trip. Not enough laps.
Amazing trip. Yeah, we could have used a few more laps. It just feels like there's that much quality in each lap. The stories get longer as the track lap numbers get smaller. That's how it rolls. Super fun. Yeah, great organization. The Deaf Power crew, super awesome. Mike, you rock. It was just super awesome. I definitely had a good time. And just for me, it was just kind of being nervous about, what are the differences between what we usually run Lemons and Lucky Dog? Like, what am I allowed to do? What am I not allowed to do? Like, and I kind of felt like a jerk a little bit, but I was like, Mike, I just want to make sure, I want to say it out. Let's talk about what do we do? Like, okay, with the fueling part was similar. We're like, let's do the fueling thing until doors close, people are out. But the other side of it, like, you're jumping over the wall in sneakers, as long as it wasn't flip flops, you could jump over the wall and do almost whatever you wanted in the hot pit lane. And changing ice or changing cool suit water, stuff like that. Checking some of this kind of stuff. Which again, it was a minor thing. You've got the timer. We've got the 5-minute pit stop rule, where once you come in, you got to stay for 5. I believe that's most of it. Don't quote me on that. And then there was the 2-hour fueling requirement, where once every 2 hours you must come in to fuel. Many people have much problems with counting 2 hours of time, but I don't help them with that. Yeah, so other than that, there wasn't. I think we had a window net. That was the other thing. We had a window net in the car, so I had to practice with that a smidge, just to see what, you know.
So the Vicki was saying she didn't understand the 2-hour thing. The 2-hour rule is so that people aren't as
you can't use a fuel cell to your advantage
to get a huge fuel cell.
Right.
So, like, you don't have a Miata with a 40-gallon fuel cell, and you can basically take one pit stop all day.
So it means you have to do 3 stops if you're doing an 8-hour day.
Right. So they want to keep stint length down, so that it keeps people with OEM fuel tanks and things like that.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So that's not the element that makes you win, right? Like, you have to come in for stop. You have to be 5 minutes, so you're safe. You're not rushing through. You're not forgetting this, forgetting that, spilling too much of this, and that sort of thing. For the pit stops, and then when you come out, you just make sure you tell them, did you fuel? Yes, I did fuel. So then they tick your number with your 2-hour timer, and then you know, if you don't come in the next 2 hours, I don't know what to do, but something.
I'm not sure if you're aware, Alan, but you can do pit stops faster than 5 minutes. They just don't count towards the 2-hour window, so you get to do another one. Just, you know, it's a rumor.
Nice. But no, we did pretty good. We did, you know, the only thing we did run afoul of was the passing under yellow. So Mike did get a passing under yellow black flag during his stint on Sunday. No big deal. It was, you know, it is what it is. I think they have a rule there where it's race to the yellow, which I think is something that's not as clear or concise to really what that looks like. I think they could have some video diagrams of like, hey, this is kind of okay. This is not okay. Still not okay. Really not a good choice over here, friend. Hey, don't try this either. You know, like that kind of ratio of like how many things you probably should or shouldn't do. You know, whatever. There's a lot of fast cars, and I don't know. I did speak to one of the other people there, and not to be sexist and a jerk, but it's where I live. If there were more female drivers out there, I'm not sure we would have had 2 excellent driver meetings on Sunday. Like, I'm just saying.
So there was the famous Italian dish was served up a little bit too much testosterone.
I don't know, and it just at an idiocy or whatever. I don't know how you know, like, there's that. A potpourri of all the all the too much of nothing you needed. But yeah. No, and I was, you know, they were quick about it though. Everyone got in, lined them all in, got them out of the car, did talk, hey, this one. It really was comical when he was listing out this many of this, and this car did this, and this car did that, and ouch. And then the second time called him into yell, and a whole other crew, like, oh, man, there aren't that many cars here. How many people are, what are you guys doing out here? And, you know, to speed creep, it's, I got to go fast. I got to win right now in an endurance race in the first hour.
Slightly competitive?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think, you know, like, I think just on track, they're just, you know, pushing it. And the track itself, for track nerds or whatever, it's flat. So it really isn't camber or banking anywhere. So it presents its own thing. And there's a 2 spots where there's a pretty good bottleneck, from talking to Lonnie about that. So, yeah, a little bit of challenge there, but super fun track. So definitely one you could get a handle on, and spin if you need to. You know, it's wide open for that. No worries. But
did you have a good time, Alan?
I had so much fun. It was a blast. It was just one of those things where it wasn't too hot where I was totally dying. I was able to jump and get enough food, you know, 16 times a day. So I was good with that. Plenty of good stuff to see, lots of good stuff to fix. It was really cool to have the exhaust repair, and I was just the sous chef, right? I was just kind of like helping out, getting the, you know, like getting him set to do it, and like figuring out how to run the grinder to get the generator to go up so that the grinder could work, and then so the welder would work to let the grinder.
You were on assistance.
It was good. Yeah, it was again, adding value, right? Like the guy could have done it himself. Like, I could have
probably took some of the pressure off you.
It definitely does.
Normally, you know, you're full on.
I'm just jumping in going, yeah. So it was nice to, and this was even like a called in friend. Like, it wasn't just Jeff doing it this time. It was another friend that had brought his welder over. So me and, you know, myself and Mike were both helping him. So then Mike and I are kind of tagging in back and forth. We had the classic 3 grinders going at once, because that's what we do. Because, we cut this one off. All right, now prep this, clean all the mounts. Well, how do you want it like that? Okay, we cut this one off. All right, now prep this. Well, how do you want it like that? Okay, that's how you want it. Okay, Okay, back over here, get the jack stand, get this thing back up. Get the, we got bolts for this. Oh, we need one more bolt with a nut. We got that over here. The usual.
Teamwork.
But it was nicer to have it being done during the day, so it wasn't a stress because you can get all this stuff done. It wasn't terrible work. But great weekend. Yeah, super loved it. And a lot of it just, even if you don't get the track time, the seat time for your learning and growth, I turn into the next, whatever the other levels are, right, or whatever you're looking for. And this is like team growth and how the systems work and how do you get your car to keep running and some of that kind of stuff. So, fortunately, the engine builder that was at the racetrack was right there. And once we sent the video over, they said, no, just put it back on the trailer. We'll get you situated later.
Yeah.
So they're going to help us out with getting us some new bearings and such and see what we did and what happened and make it better for next time.
Maybe. Well, thank you for reviewing it. And thank you to Kathy and the team. They always run a great place. And we do miss them. Hopefully you said that we did. Or at least.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Excellent.
And I do have some Def Power Racing swag I got to get over to you. So,
well, we represent them. That's fine.
Heck yeah.
Next race out.
That's right.
When's your next race out?
I don't know. I got to talk to them, see if I can fly out for another one. That'd be super fun.
No, I meant just in general. When's your next race?
For me, I'm racing in Connecticut. We're doing Thompson. I'm going to be arrive and drive with Greek Labs of Oil. I believe I'm in the Nissan Sentra again.
Okay.
But it's always variable. They always bring the meats, which we love. And then I think I'm going to try to host the Def Power team in New Hampshire again with the Mustang. So we'll see what.
Cool.
That would be super fun.
Did you get a chance? Not that you listen, but did you get a chance to hear about Yuri's former car? They were on last week.
No, I didn't. With the Maxima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was downloading before I was flying, and I didn't actually see that one, so I'll make sure I get it. Yeah, because I was helping them at Pitt, I think it was.
Yep, it was Pitt.
Everybody was helping them at Pitt. They were having a struggle until those poor guys, but they figured it out. They did really well.
I always say you learn the most when everything goes sideways.
That's right.
It's very difficult to take an axle out without taking a C-clip out.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
They did their best.
That was several C-clips by the time they were done. So
yeah,
bits and bits of C-clips.
They're small. You take a couple with you. It's fine.
Exactly. Sir, you have a great night. Thank you.
Heck yeah, you too. You rock. Can't
wait to catch up again.
The whole the West Coast crew, the Lucky Dog crew. We'll definitely check you all out on the East Coast, and we had so much fun.